gentlemen, welcome to the Swamp on the campus of East Columbus High School for tonight's high school football game. As the East Bladen Eagles come down 74-76 to take on the East Columbus Gators. Gators come in with a record of 2-3 on the season, and East Columbus coming in with a record of 3-2. Absolutely crisp night for football here in the Swamp, and in case you haven't guessed, it is football season tonight, and we're getting our first taste of real football weather. It's a temperature of about 60-65, and not a breath of wind, but trust me, we're starting to see a lot of people wearing jackets. Crowds still filing in here at East Columbus. I'm guessing a lot of them are trying to get some fair time in before the rain hits tomorrow. But the late arriving crowd is going to see an outstanding football game between two teams who are hungry for a win. Captains are about to meet here at midfield. And we got a game tonight where we're going to match up two teams and who love to do it on the ground. Ground and pound is going to be the name of the game. So if you're looking for a key for tonight's ball game, look for the offensive and defensive lines and who controls the line of scrimmage. I am in this spacious box. My usual broadcast partner, Brett Burrows, is taking care of a duty much more important than football tonight. He is on dad duty, which is an extremely important job. So hopefully, we'll see Brett next week when we go to South Columbus for South Brunswick against South Columbus. And my other broadcast partner, Matt Gore, actually is doing the same thing. Dad duty is extremely important.
Number 3, Raheem Lewis. Number 4, Corian Parkdale. And number 5, Sean Campbell.
Taking a look around, noticing a lot of people in short sleeves today who are much braver than I am. I am well bundled up here inside the press box. Looking forward to an outstanding high school football game on a brisk October evening. Coin toss is going on at midfield right at this point. Just waiting for a little bit of notification from the white hat. East Bladen has won the toss and elected to receive the opening kickoff. They'll be defending the right-hand goal, going from right to left, and East Columbus, the Gators, will be going from left to right. I will try to keep both of these teams straight. We have both teams from East this week, so I will try to keep my greens and my whites together, and we'll see what we can do. Teams getting ready to take the field. We're going to kick off Friday Night Football. Friday night under the lights is about to begin, and we will have some great high school football in just a few moments.
It might be.
And here come your East Columbus Gators taking the field once again under the direction of Fred Pedro. The Gators 2-3 on the season. The Eagles 3 and I believe either 3-2 or 4-2. East Columbus and East Bladen both ground and pound. So the team that controls the line of scrimmage early will have a leg up on winning this game. A brisk night for football. Temperatures in about 60, 65. I'm being conservative there. And not a breath of wind, but a real chill in the air as the late filing in crowd comes to join us here at East Columbus. East Bladen won the toss, elected to receive. They'll be defending the right goal line and going from right to left, and East Columbus will be going from left to right. East Columbus sets up at about the 15 to start the ball game. Line drive kick into the end zone for a touchback. That looked like a pitching wedge shot, and I'm telling you, that thing had some life to it. Very seldom you see a touchback for a high school football game, but that one had some life to it, and that thing probably could have rolled to the fence if they weren't careful. East Bladen quarterback number 2, Keyshawn Kemp. East Bladen first and 10, ball on the 20. Goes wide left, I backfield. Rolls back to pass, and he's going to heave it a ton. Oh, the receiver had to play defensive back on that because there was no way that ball had enough air into it to get to the receiver. Pass intended for number 11, Nashawn Jones, falls incomplete. Second and 10 from the 20 for the Eagles. And the Eagles traditionally a ground and pound team, I think, trying to soften up that East Columbus defense. Wing left with a wide out. Backside handoff. Picks and chooses for a couple of yards. Swallowed up by the right side of that East Columbus defense is number 21, Jaden Lewis. That big defensive end for Dawson Crosby, number 33, the quarterback and defensive end, kind of rode him to the sidelines. Gain of maybe 2 for 3rd and 8. Important for East Columbus to try to establish some dominance early and get off the field and not give up a whole lot of yardage and put East Bladen in a hole. Backside handoff once again to number 21, Jaden Lewis. Lewis picks up just enough yardage to move the sticks, or it's going to be close. Yes, he did move the sticks, and it'll be first down for the Eagles. Yeah, good down the distance for the Gators, just unable to convert with that wide attack. Lewis is a real scat back who will pick up 2 and 3 yards at a pop, and it's just enough to move the chains. Kemp once again with the handoff to looks like Lewis. Tripped up before he gets to the second level. Picks up about 5 or 6. Brought down by number 30, Andrew Brewington. Second and about 4 for the Eagles. Ball on about the 36, 37-yard line. And we got an offside call against the Gators. We'll move the chains once again. Offside to call against the Gators. Important for the Gators to kind of get off the field on defense and try to avoid the mental errors that kind of doomed them when they played the Vikings of West Columbus last week. Wide left once again for the Eagles. Handoff backside to Deshaun Campbell. Campbell taken down after a gain of about 5 or 6 by number 33, Dawson Crosby. Pickup is about 6, gain it'll be 2nd and 4. East Bladen on the move. After that one initial pass, kind of going back to that traditional ground and pound offense, trying to soften up that East Columbus defense. East Columbus playing everybody within 7 yards of the ball, and they've got to soften up East Columbus somehow. Nice play by that East Columbus defense. And number 54 for the Gators, Devin Jenrette. Jenrette's tackle after about a gain of 2 makes it 3rd and 2 for the Eagles. Gators tough on defense, bringing everybody up to the line of scrimmage, trying to almost dare East Bladen to throw the pass. East Bladen still content to ground it out on the offense. Ball on the 48, 3rd and 2. Backside handoff to number 23, Riley Collins. Collins picks up just enough for the first down and will move the chains. 8:22 to go here in the first quarter. No score here in the Swamp. 1st and 10 Eagles. Ball is on the 46. And, you know, it doesn't look flashy. It doesn't look, you know, like something that's going to stand out to you in a stat sheet. But East Bladen methodically moving the chains, picking up 2 and 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and they're already on the plus side of the 50-yard line. Backside handoff to Riley Collins. Collins off to the right before being gang tackled by the Gators. Hit by number 4 for the Gators, Jacob Stukes. Gain of 4 for the Eagles. Eagles have 2nd and 6. Ball on about the 43. Again, this East Bladen offense is very bread and butter. They're not going to use multiple formations. They're not going to use, you know, a lot of different things. They're just going to come right at you and dare you to stop them. Heads up play on the defensive line by number 75. I'm sorry, I don't have his number.
Here, number 21, Jaden Lewis, tackled by number 75,
Jabri Dixon, number 75 with the tackle. And Jaden Lewis on the carry. 3rd and a long 4 for the Eagles. 6:45 to go here in the first quarter. Backside handoff once again. Tackled in the backfield is number 23, Riley Collins. Jacob Stoops with the tackle. That's 2 in a row for Jacob. Brings up a big 4th down early here for the Eagles. 6:23 to go here in the first quarter. Important now, if you're the East Columbus defense, to really make an effort to, you know, stop this where it stands, and a big emotional and morale booster for the Gators if they can get off the field and stop the Eagles on 4th down. And if I'm East Bladen, I would try to go back to that hard count and, you know, see what they got. You got to be disciplined in a situation like this. Pitch to the outside. Stopped initially was number 21, Jaden Lewis. Squirts free, picks up the first down before being brought down in the defensive secondary. Eagles once again pick up the first down, moving the chains. Ball is going to be 1st and 10 on the 32. East Bladen took the opening kickoff. They've had the ball for almost a full 7 minutes, and right now they're 1st and 10 at the 32 with still time ticking off the clock. East Columbus has yet to possess the ball. Backside counter to Riley Collins. Collins picks up a good 10 or 12 before being squirted out of bounds by number 30, Anthony Brewington. But unfortunately, he's picked up 11, and he's going to move the chains once again for the Eagles. Impressive drive starting on the 20 for the Eagles, while already on the plus side of the 50, first and 10 Eagles on the 19. Once again, quarterback Kemp under center. Kemp hands off to Deshaun Campbell. Got a flag on the play brought down by number 4, Jacob Stukes. Yeah, situation like that, it looks traditionally it goes against the offense, which should definitely help the Gators. Illegal procedure against the Eagles, excuse me. Personal foul face mask against the Gators. Fouls will offset. It will be a replay of first down. The reason you saw the white hat with his hat off because he threw his flag, and with the second foul, he couldn't throw another flag, so he had to take the hat and throw the hat. Something you don't often see, but the mechanics of officiating go flag first, then hat. So we're going to replay first down. We're going to do it all over again with 4:57 to go here in the first. Handoff once again to number 9, Julius Battle. Battle stopped by number 33, Dawson Crosby, and number 46, Dakari Porter. Gain of about 5. Be second and 5 for the Eagles. 4:30 to go here in the first. Eagles once again drove the ball all the way from the 20 after the opening touchback. Had a couple of third downs and one big fourth down. Have methodically moved the ball down the field and are getting close to pay dirt. Kemp once again under center. Full house backfield. Hands the ball off to number 21, Jaden Lewis. Once again, chains do move, and it looks like it'll be first and goal for the for the Eagles. Eagles got the ball, first and goal, and about the 3. And not a lot of real estate left for the Gators to defend if they want to keep East Bladen out of the end zone. Backside handoff to Deshaun Campbell. Campbell looks to take the ball, and he is into the end zone. East Bladen scores, making it 6-0 here with 3:25 to go. Impressive drive when you consider you got 8 minutes and 35 seconds taken off the clock without East Columbus having yet to touch the football. Two-point attempt for the Eagles. Now the quarterback Kemp in the shotgun. Kemp's going to take the ball off to the right-hand side. He looks like he's got the corner, and he'll be in for the two-point conversion, leading to an 8-0 score. But we do have a flag on the play. Score, the penalty is, once again, illegal procedure against the Eagles. We'll do this thing again. Disappointing if you're an Eagles fan. You get the two-point conversion. It's just mental lapses or, what kill you in high school football. Kemp now under center. Rolls to pass. Toss it to the corner of the end zone. And it will be
Bladen, 2-point conversion is no good.
incomplete, just out of the hands of the receiver. Our score with 3:25 to go here in the first quarter. East Bladen 6, East Columbus 0. Tonight will be brought to you by the great folks at the Columbus County Fair. If you're out there at the fair, hopefully you're kind of catching us on Facebook or any of the Columbus County social media apps. So if you're enjoying us from the Columbus County Fair, give us a shout out and help keep your friends up to date on what's going on in the game. Tonight's game also brought to you by the great folks at the National Weather Service. The National Weather Service keeping abreast of the weather that's coming in tomorrow. Make sure before you go out to the fair tomorrow, you make sure you have your galoshes, your raincoats, your umbrellas. Make sure you go out and have a great time at the fair, but make sure you're weather aware. Thank you from the National Weather Service, care of Columbus County Schools.
Back to team for the Gators, number 4, Jacob Stoops, and number 12, Demetrius Dexter.
Demetrius Dexter and Jacob Stooks back deep for the Gators. Number 2, Keyshawn Camp looks to kick it off for the Eagles. Once again, we got 3:25 to go here in the first. 6-0 our score. Pooch kick going to go out of bounds at the 40, and East Columbus will take over with favorable field position to start the game. So hard with those directional kicks to get them in, I guess to use the NFL parlance, the landing zone. And if you're directional kicking, to keep it from going far, but not too far, and going out of bounds. Once again, Crosby, the quarterback for East Columbus, did a little bit of everything. He did about everything but sell hot dogs last week in that game against West Columbus. Really had a strong game. The tall, lanky kid, and his opportunities to run the football. And if he can, if East Columbus can find somebody to help pick up some of that offensive workload, they could be a dangerous game. This could be a dangerous game for East Bladen. Gators come to the ball. 1st and 10, ball on the 45. Crosby under center. Crosby fakes, hands off to number 10, Sean Hunter. Hunter picking up 15 before being taken down by the East Bladen secondary in the hands of number 3, Raheem Lewis. East Columbus goes from the 45 all the way to the 40 on a 15-yard gain by Trayshawn Hunter.
And up enough for a first down, East Columbus Gators.
Gator 1st and 10, ball on the plus side of the 50 at the East Bladen 40. Inside handoff, before being swallowed up is looks like number 3, Christian Norton. Norton getting taken down by some very large folks in the center of that East Bladen defensive line, specifically number 55, Gerald May. Gains about 2, make it 2nd and 8. Time ticking down here in the first. 2nd and 8 for the Gators. Crosby's going to take it on the quarterback keeper, picking up 3 or 4 before being brought down by number 11, Braylon Johnson. And he's assisted by number 4, Torian Cogdell. Third and 4 for the Gators. Gators in the plus side, probably in 2-down territory. Crosby once again with the sneak, picking up a good yardage, and he looks to have moved the chains by picking up 6. 1st and 10 for the Gators. Time ticking down, 1:53 to go here in the first. First down and 10, East Columbus, ball on the 28, 1:42 to go. East Columbus looking to answer back after the initial score from East Bladen. Quick moving first half, guys, as we are at 7:18 and we're almost through the first quarter. Once again, Crosby on the keeper, picking up 3, 4, and 5 yards, and he's got the ball all the way down to about the 20. I mean, got good size on that East Bladen defensive line, but got a timeout called in favor of East Columbus. And I think the East Bladen coaching staff is kind of noticing what we're noticing. It's like, how's the quarterback getting 6 yards deep into our defensive backfield? East Columbus ball on the 20. They're going to have a 2nd and 2, and I'm pretty sure they're going to try and stop that quarterback sneak because it's gashed them 3 straight times for about 6, 7 yards at a pop. 1:13 to go here in the first. Each team with 1 possession. East Columbus on their first possession is now 20 yards from pay dirt and about to answer East Bladen. East Columbus looking pretty sharp this afternoon. Really starting off with a good first possession, moving the ball well on offense. The running game yet to be stopped if you're East Bladen. Crosby under center. Takes it off the left-hand side, handed it off to number 9, Stephen Hansford. Hansford, nothing happening. Swallowed up by number 7, Bradley Townsend, and the rest of the East Bladen defense. Loses a couple yards. We're back to about 3rd and 6. Last minute of the first quarter, and East Bladen, defending the last 20 to 25 yards before East Columbus ties this up. East Columbus definite 2-down territory here. Going to make it really difficult on the East Bladen defense if they can pick up at least 1 or 2 more first downs. Crosby with the quarterback keeper once again picking up great yardage, and if he doesn't get the first down, he is awful close. It looks like he might be a half yard or a yard short of the sticks, and it's going to be 4th and about maybe 1 for the Gators. The Eagles knew it was coming, didn't know really quite how to stop it, but they're going to have the quarter break to figure this out as we're going to finish. If I'm East Columbus, I don't snap the ball before the end of the quarter. End of the first quarter, East Columbus down by 6 to East Bladen, but a big fourth. Actually, looks like they did give them the first down. East Columbus first down makes it 1st and 10, ball on the 18. It looked for all the world like it was going to be 4th and 1, but it's now 1st and 10. Didn't even see the measurement on that one. Tonight's game also brought to you by Columbus County Schools. Celebrating, the great gains in education they've made last year. If you get a chance, take a look. CCCA got their report cards this week, actually today, and the other schools have a parent-teacher conference day. So Columbus County Schools encourage you to get out and talk with your child's teacher, and go out and see what's going on in the school system, because parent-teacher conference day for every school but CCCA this Monday. So come out and check and see how your child's doing. Make sure everything's going well in the school system this year, because we are off to a great start at Columbus County Schools. So tonight's game also brought to you by the great folks at Columbus County Schools. When we return to action, East Columbus with a 1st and 10, ball on the 18 yards from pay dirt in a quick moving first quarter, and East Bladen with no answer for the quarterback sneak. And if East Columbus can continue to move the chains, they're going to be tied up in this ball game. Crosby once again under center to start the second quarter. East Columbus now moving from your right to left. Crosby once again picking and choosing his way. Picks up about maybe 1 or 2. East Bladen up to the task at this point. Tackled by, I get his number there, number 7, Bradley Townsend. 2nd and a maybe 9.5, 9 3/4. Or we'll call it a short 10. Into the second quarter already at 7:23 in the evening. Crosby back to pass. Caught to Demetrius Dexter with the catch before being upended and reversed by the Bladen secondary. They call that, where I come from, a sudden change of direction. 3rd and 6 for the Gators. 2 downs to get this into the end zone, or at the very least, they can get a first down by getting the ball to at least the 8. East Columbus taking a bit of time off the clock. Definite 2 downs to get this. Just need to get positive yardage on this play. And East Columbus looks to take the timeout, knowing, these are key downs here, and you don't want to take a penalty this close to the end zone and this close to pay dirt. You want a manageable 3rd down. East Columbus want to keep it, 1 stick instead of 2 sticks on the penalty. 10-17 to go here in the first quarter. East Columbus knocking on the door, heading into the end zone, trying to tie this thing up against East Bladen. Tonight's game also brought to you by Southeastern Community College. Southeastern Community College will be on their fall break Monday and Tuesday of this week. And, already hard to believe, but for the college kids and the early college kids, we are at mid-semester. Time flying by here in the fall here in Southeastern North Carolina. So once again, tonight's game also brought to you by Southeastern Community College. Third and about 6 for the Gators. The official gets knocked down, unfortunately. Not sure how that happened, but that was quite a... Well, we'll save that one for the blooper reel. Okay, we're going to reset this thing and get it started. Crosby looked to hand the ball off. Nobody to hand it off to. And Fred Pedro is not pleased, as Crosby had to run for his life. Loses about 3 or 4, and it'll be 4th and about 9. Counter got all messed up with the defensive penetration, and 4th and 9, and a big play early in the second quarter for the East Columbus Gators. Under 10 to go here in the first half. The Gators trying to answer the score by East Columbus. Yeah. Unfortunately, 3rd and short looks a lot different than 4th and 9. And right now we're at 4th and 9, East Columbus with Proset, one back in the backfield, Crosby in the shotgun. Motion across the formation. Crosby back to pass. Well, it's wide open in the backfield. Just completed, but he's going to be right at the sticks. And they will give him the first down. Demetrius Dexter pulls that thing out of midair in the midst of a lot of traffic, and he'll pick up the first down for the Gators. 1st and goal, Gators. Gators with a timely pass play. Look, you have 2 men in the vicinity of the ball, both going after it, and somehow Dexter pulls it out of thin air and makes it 1st and goal, Gators at the 6. Big play for East Columbus early here in this second quarter. First and goal, Gators. Crosby in the shotgun. He will now come up under center. Crosby is going to keep it on the quarterback sneak, takes the ball to about the 4 before being held and pushed by the entire East Bladen defense. 2nd and goal, ball on about the 4. And if we were in New York last night, we'd see 3 or 4 straight tush pushes. I don't know what we call them with Crosby, but if you got a name, give it to us. Okay, we'll take suggestions at this point. Mm-hmm. 2nd and goal for the Gators, looking to answer. If the Gators can't score, that missed 2-point conversion going to loom large here in this ball game. Crosby under center once again. Pitch to the outside. He's going to take it to the outside. Takes it to about the 1. Submarining is Jacob Stukes. Stukes almost gets to the end zone, but he took about 2 or 3 Eagles with him. 3rd and goal. Jacob Stukes' ball breaks it. 3rd and goal, ball on about the half-foot line. Not a lot of real estate left to punch that ball in the end zone with 7:10 to go here in the second quarter. Crosby with the ball. Yeah. And Crosby looks to hand the ball off. But the problem was, there was, you had Parter in the backfield, but you also had 3 defensive linemen in the backfield. And that thing went nowhere except for backward and back to the 4, where it's going to be a big 4th and goal. 4th and goal, Gators, ball on the 4, 6:30 to go here in the first half. Big play here for the Gators. The upside of this is if they don't get it, you're making East Bladen drive 96 yards the other way. Crosby with under center again, once again. Crosby on the keeper, being chased to the corner. Too much defensive penetration, and a great play by number 21, Jaden Lewis, and that thing goes nowhere except for backward. East Bladen takes over with 6:01 to go here in the first half. 1st and 10, ball on about the 10. The upside of this is you're making East Bladen, who is a ground and pound team, does not throw the ball a whole heck of a lot, drive 90 yards in 6 minutes and 1 second here in the first half. East Columbus had a good offensive series, had a couple of breakdowns there toward the end, but East Columbus looking good on the offensive end this evening. East Bladen 1st and 10. Kemp once again under center. Hands off to Jaden Lewis. Lewis around the corner. Chased down after a gain of about 20 by number, if I can get him to turn around, number 30, and that is Anthony Brewington. 1st and 10, Eagles quickly to the 26, where they'll have 1st and 10, 5:30 to go here in the first half. Full house backfield for the Eagles. Backside handoff once again to Justin Russ. Justin Russ to the about to get end zone, just brought down in the end zone. Russ is out of gas after the 74-yard touchdown. And once he got through that second line, there was nothing left but a lot of green grass. And unfortunately, green grass can't tackle you. 5:07 to go. That is actually a 12-0 score right now, not a 6-6 score. Fix the crawl, please. Once again, 5:07 to go. It is now 12-0 in favor of the Eagles. 5:07 to go. And that's a tough mental thing because East Columbus almost getting that score and now being down 12-0 with 5:07 to go. I mean, that's a gut punch. Kemp backside handoff to Trayshawn Hunter. Hunter takes it in the end zone, making it 14-0 in favor of the Eagles. Again, East Columbus, feast or famine, takes the ball the length of the field, almost gets the ball in the end zone. A couple of tough plays on 3rd and 4th down near the goal line, and we head back the other direction, and quickly East Bladen up 14 with 5:07 to go. Tonight's game also brought to you by the Columbus County Arts Department. Under the direction of Kelly Jones, weather permitting, the Arts Department of Columbus County Schools, including our poet laureates, will be performing at the Columbus County Fair tomorrow around 3 o'clock. Please stay tuned for details. And once again, that is weather permitting. Line drive kickoff corralled by East Columbus. And East Columbus will take the ball over. First and 10, ball on, it looks like about the 38-yard line. East Columbus very successful on offense, methodically moved the ball down the field. A couple mental mistakes near the goal line kind of doomed them. But to that end, East Bladen, did not have a whole lot of answers for the East Columbus offense on the first series. Crazily enough, we are at 7:34, and we're almost to halftime with only 5:02 to go here in the half. Quick moving game here on a Friday night in the Swamp. Crosby once again under center. Crosby looks to pass. Going to take off around the right. Picks up a good 4 or 5 yard. And Crosby, Crosby lowers his shoulder, and he may only got about 3 or 4 on that, but even the official's smiling because, that's what you call running with authority when you're a quarterback and you're that tall and you can get your shoulder that low to knock somebody off their feet. 2nd and 6 for the Gators. Once again, East Columbus offense moving really well this evening against a larger, size-wise, by weight-wise, they're probably outweighed by about 20, 30 pounds on the line, but they're moving well against this defensive line for East Columbus. Crosby on the keeper once again, picks up good yardage. The scrum goes all the way down to about the 46, 47, where it's going to be 3rd and 2 for the Gators, 4:28 to go here in the first half. Third and 2 for the Gators. Important for the Gators, I think, to keep possession, move these chains along, and before this game gets to 20, 21, don't give the ball up on a short field. Four minutes to go here in the first half. East Bladen up by 14. Gators on the move, having played well on offense to this date. A play or two here, and this could be a tie ball game. Crosby drops back to pass once again. Dinks and ducks, picks up the first down on about the 40, gets it all the way to the 45. Gain of 15. Jacob Stukes' reception makes it 1st and 10 Gators on the plus side of the 50 at the East Bladen 45. 3.5 to go here in the first half. East Bladen keeps possession. More importantly, keeps the clock moving. Once again, Crosby under center. Eagles fake the blitz. Crosby around the right-hand side saw that the middle is going to be bottled up. Maybe gets 2. Actually, give him credit for 1. It'll be 2nd and 9. Under 3 to go here in the first half. Gators, desperately trying to get the ball in the end zone and cut this lead in half. Gator offense looking pretty good to this point, and they're taking advantage of when East Bladen brings that defensive front up. They try to sneak those linebackers up, and I think that's Crosby's key to look to go ahead and pass the ball. He's not trying to throw the ball 30 yards downfield, but he's taking those wide open spaces in the 2nd and 3rd levels of the defense. Motion back. Inside handoff. Somehow he gets free. Is number 9, Stephen Hansford. Hansford showing a lot of elusiveness, getting the ball to the 41, where it's going to be about 3rd and 6. Got a timeout called by East Columbus, 2:13 to go here in the first half. Big downs for East Columbus to continue to move the clock. And, if they can get another first down, they really can conceivably run out the first half, whether they score or not. Tonight's game also brought to you by the Columbus County Middle School Football League. Middle school football starting up. Tryouts have just concluded within the last few weeks, and middle school football coming soon to a field near you. Big 2 downs for East Columbus. I think, as much as I'd love to see them pass and try and pick up a lot of this yardage in chunks, keeping the ball and running out this half, would seem to be a better play, because either they score or they don't, and they get the ball back to start the third quarter. Important, I think, for East Columbus to maybe try to get this cut in half, but at the very least, not give up another score before halftime. Backside handoff, once again, slips and picks up a couple of yards. He'll be just a few yards short of the first down. It'll be 4th and 3. And kind of surprised right now, East Bladen not calling a timeout, but they're going to let the clock run. And right as I say that, East Bladen takes the timeout with 2:02. Trust me, folks, I didn't have any ESPN on that, but East Bladen definitely taking the timeout, knowing if they stop East Columbus on 4th down here, they'll have a full 2 minutes to try and get one more score before the break. If not, East Columbus will have the opportunity to score and do 1+1 when they get the ball to start the third quarter. East Columbus offense playing very well today. If they can just pick up a few plays here and there, they are right in this ball game. This is not inconceivable for East Columbus to come back at this point. This game already a lot closer than a lot of people expected coming in. High drama here in the late second quarter. 4th and about 3.5 for East Columbus. Important for East Columbus to pick this up and get the clock moving and potentially run this half out. Heads up play by Dawson Crosby. Crosby picks up the first down. Crosby with the quarterback sneak, which I don't think surprised anybody in the game here, and picks up very adeptly the first down. Tall, lanky kid turned his shoulders, slid through, and picks up the first down. 1st and 10 Gators, ball on the 31 with 1:43 to go. Remember, the Gators only have one timeout here in the first half. Once again, Crosby picks up another 4 or 5 before being tackled. East Columbus, I think, has to get back on the ball quickly because time is running out. They've got 1:26 to go here in the first half. East Columbus officials timeout. Okay, clock will now run again. The officials, not East Columbus, so they still have the one timeout remaining. Once again, Crosby picks up a good 3 or 4. He looks like he will have enough yardage to pick up the first down. If not, they're going to call for a measurement. 1st and 10 Gators, 1:05 to go. East Columbus calling timeout. Important to notice that is their 3rd timeout of the first half with 1:04 to go. They will be unable to stop it. Minute 4 to go here in the first half. East Columbus once again knocking on the door at the 20. They can pick up another first down. The problem is there's 64 ticks of the clock here to go in the first half, and 21 yards of real estate separate East Columbus from chopping this lead in half. I think the important thing is now is the quarterback sneaks are working well for you, but do you have time, and how many snaps can you get on those quarterback sneaks with 1:04 and still get the ball in the end zone? I think now is the time where you maybe look for those dump passes to pick up 3 and 4 yards. Big doings here, important strategy play, and if you're East Bladen, to keep East Columbus in bounds before, to keep that clock moving and maybe make them run out of time. Looks like a double tight wing. One back in the backfield is Dexter. Crosby around the left-hand side. He's going to take the corner, and he does get out of bounds. Heads up play by Crosby, getting the ball out of bounds at about the 12. Important for East Columbus. They can stop the clock on a first down, albeit briefly, with another 2-yard gain. 2nd and 2 for the Gators. Ball on about the 13. 57.6 to go. Crosby did two things right. He got the plus yardage, plus he got the ball out of bounds, and gained valuable seconds for East Columbus. Crosby once again under center, ball on the 12, 2nd and 2. Motion right. Crosby once again around the corner. Somehow avoids the rush, picks up positive yardage, and gets the ball to the 10, where he will pick up a Gator first down. Now, the important thing here is it's 1st and goal or 1st and 10. Looks like it's going to be 1st and goal for the Gators. 46.6 ticks to the clock. And East Columbus looks to cut this lead in half. Clock ticking. They've got to get on the ball quickly to try and get as many plays as possible. Pro set for the Gators, 1st and 10. 1st and goal, actually. East Columbus trying to get the ball, losing precious seconds with a substitution question. Inside pass, just caught it to 2. Got to get on the ball quickly. Only 19 seconds. Clock still running. And ruled no catch by the officials. Okay, they did move him up. Not sure who called the timeout. A quick question up here in the press box. We were all trying to figure out what was going on. Okay, they're moving the clock up to 15 seconds. Important for the clock change at that point, because that's 4 or 5 big seconds where East Columbus needs to get in the end zone to hopefully cut this thing in half, make it 14-6, maybe 14-7, maybe 14-8 at halftime. 2nd and goal for the Gators. Maybe they have 1, maybe 2 plays to get this thing into the end zone. Crosby under center once again. Crosby to the right and in the end zone. Touchdown, East Columbus. 12.1 to go, and the Gators are about to cut this thing in half, maybe a little bit more. Gators now down 14-6. Big points coming if East Columbus wanted to get back in this ballgame. Remember, East Columbus will pick up a possession. They kick the opening kickoff, so they'll get possession once again to start the second half. Crosby going to look to get under center. High snap. Pass just intercepted by number 21, Jaden Lewis. The extra point is no good, but 11.7 seconds to go. East Columbus back in this ball game at 14-6. Big offensive series for the Gators. Gets the ball in the end zone, and East Columbus will look to double that up when we get into the second half. But an important kickoff here. If I'm East Columbus, I'm kicking that thing to 74-76 and giving no time for East Bladen, to have a short field. Don't give them the ball anywhere near the 40, 50-yard line. Make them go 80 yards in 11 seconds. Yeah. Like I said, because if I was him, I'd kick that ball either to 74-76 or somewhere near Hallsborough. The important thing for East Columbus is if they kick the ball off and it does land in the field of play, to keep the ball inbounds and make East Bladen use precious seconds moving the ball and take time off that clock and give them maybe one play. You either kick it in the bounds or you kick it through those uprights all the way back. I guess you can't kick it to 74. Maybe somewhere toward Bladen County. Yeah, seeing how he's kicking from the right to the left this time. Maybe he can hit the press box, the concession stand. Yeah. Boom. Ball fumbled. East Columbus picks it up. East Columbus with the football. Cannot advance it, but it's 1st and 10. East Columbus with 1 play left, 5.6 seconds to go. And disaster if you're East Bladen right now, as they've lost the possession, the fumble. East Columbus with 1 play to maybe get some points and get the possession to start the second half. What do you call with 1 play, ball on about the 10? 10 yards from pay dirt. Yeah, everything at your disposal at this point, but you have maybe 1 play to get this thing into the end zone unless you quick pass it and it's either incomplete. East Columbus with a rare opportunity to triple up. They've got the score in the last possession. They may score on this possession, and they'll get the ball to start the second half. Crosby under center. Crosby rolls back to pass. Yeah, fortunately runs into his own man, tackled to end the quarter. And our score, East Bladen 14, East Columbus 6 at halftime. We're going to take a quick timeout. Going to let you enjoy some of the sights and sounds of Friday Night Football here at East Columbus. And we'll be back with second half action in just a little bit.
He had to pee, huh?
Yeah.
It's a windy wind up there.
Oh, yeah.
Gave McKenna my jacket because it's free for her.
You got a chance to go back to listen to this. I'm giving shouts out to everybody.
Oh yeah, I'll go and listen.
I mean, I've done commercials for East Columbus, for Columbus County Middle School football, the National Weather Service. I'm making shit up as I go along.
Nice. Yeah, there's nothing really to talk about. Dawson Crosby show.
Play this record as frequently as possible. Then, as it becomes easier for you, play the record once a day or as needed.
Okay, we are back for second half action. East Bladen lucky to be up at this point, 14-6. East Columbus twice denied inside the 10-yard line going into score. This score could be very easily either tied or flipped at this point. East Columbus does have the opportunity to double up, though, and they had the possession at the end of the first half, and, they will have the possession to start the second half due to the fact that they kicked to start the ball game. 2 minutes to go here before we start the second half. East Columbus very much in this ball game, and if you compare this week to last week, the big thing we were talking about here in the press box at halftime is East Columbus has cut down tremendously on the penalties. We went from, between two teams, 300 yards of total penalties to East Columbus having only maybe one or two, if that. And I think they did have one, but I think it was declining. That was the face mask, where they also had the illegal procedure. Big moments here in the start the second half. East Columbus with the football, looking to cut into that lead. Realistically, playing very well tonight, and does have the opportunity to be in the lead at this point. They really played very well. Running attack is on point. Timely passing from Crosby to Stukes and a couple others, and they are a player or two away from being on top in this ball game and really, putting a statement win out there for Fred Pedro in his second year. Got a first half score. West Columbus down to North Duplin, 21-8. And we're still trying to get a South Columbus score. So if you got a South Columbus score, see if you can feed it to us. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'd like to give a shout out to Jeff Axelberg for sending us that West Columbus score. He's always a big fan of not only our broadcast, but does a great job advocating for the great sports teams at the high school and middle school and youth leagues for West Columbus. As long as we got a moment, we're going to give a quick shout out, a quick commercial for the great folks in the press box here at East Columbus. Always do a great job trying to help us out. And the East Columbus concession stand, all those great folks down there doing a great job to make sure we have some nice, warm food and drink here at the ball game in the Swamp tonight. East Columbus, once again, will receive the second half kickoff. Important for East Columbus to get a quick start and really limit the possession for East Bladen. I think the team that finds their defensive legs here in the second half soonest is going to be the team that wins this ball game. Both offenses kind of humming along. Keyshawn Kemp, the quarterback kicker for East Bladen. Line drive kickoff. Going to maybe not go 10 yards. But we have, that line drive kickoff looks like it was recovered. East Bladen, and so much for the advantage of being able to have that second half kickoff. Feast or famine on the special teams for East Bladen tonight. They had the fumble on the last kickoff for East Columbus, which almost, cost them points. But now they pick up the onside kick, and they've got 1st and 10, ball on the 43 here to start the second half. Kemp under center. Backside handoff to Deshaun Campbell. Campbell picks up about 13, and he'll be making a 1st and 10 Eagles, ball on the 29. Quickly to the 29, East Bladen looked to push out to a 2-score lead here in the second half. Only 7 minutes after 8, and we are into the third quarter. The first half took about 45, 50 minutes. Lewis takes the ball, and Lewis quickly into the end zone for the Eagles. About a 27, 28-yard touchdown. East Bladen not playing to start the second half, and they start off with a quick score and make it 20-6 with 11:19 to go. And the danger of not capitalizing on your opportunities is these things will happen. Once again, Campbell under center. Sorry, Kemp under center. Kemp's going to take it on the quarterback keeper. He's going to roll off to his right. Just make the corner of the end zone. It'll be 22-6. Again, East Columbus having their opportunities twice inside the opponent's 10-yard line in the first half, not able to take care of those opportunities. Had the onside kick recovered by East Bladen, and all of a sudden, instead of being up in this ball game by a touchdown or two, they're down by 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions. Tonight's game also brought to you by the Columbus County Schools Central Office staff, curriculum directors, arts coordinators, and your great folks in the assistant superintendent and the superintendent's office. Once again, this game brought to you by Columbus County Schools. We have a halftime score, South Columbus 7, Red Springs 0. Once again, South Columbus 7, Red Springs 0. Once again, the onside kick, recovered by East Columbus, bounces off his hands and fouls right back to him. Recovered by number 30. Okay, recovered by number 20. Javon Bright with the recovery. East Columbus with their first official possession of the second half. Crosby once again under center. Once again, trouble in the backfield for East Columbus. And brought down is number 10, Trayshawn Hunter, brought down by the center of the East Bladen defense. Loss of 2 makes it 2nd and 12. Sounds like somebody on the East Bladen sideline lit a fire under that defense at halftime. They're coming out fired up. 2nd and 12, Gators, ball on about the 46, 47-yard line. About 10:30 to go here in the third quarter. Finally called. It's going to be a false start against the Gators. And what was once 2nd and 12 is now 2nd and 17. 10:33 to go here in the third quarter. East Columbus desperately needing to get a quick score to get back in this ball game. Had their opportunities, and honestly, judging by the way the first half was played, this score could be flipped and look in the other direction. But a growing team, a young East Columbus team, has, these are the kind of things you're going to learn as you start building your program. And this East Columbus team playing a lot better this week, just a play or two here or there away from being in the lead of this ball game. Backside counter. We got another flag on the play. Ball being carried by number 3, Christian Norton. Illegal motion against the Gators, and unfortunately Gators moving, but moving the wrong direction. Looks like the flag was declined. It'll be once again 3rd and about 17 for the Gators. Under 10 to go here in the third quarter. Crosby back to pass once again. Heaves that ball down the field just a bit too far for the receiver. It'll be 4th and 17. Pass intended for Dexter, well covered, deep into the secondary, but just a bit too far. Fourth and 17 for the Gators. Important, if you're going to give the ball up, to try to at least get yourself some yardage. It looks like the Gators will punt and try to make the Eagles work with a short field. Again, special teams, no guarantee in high school. We've seen a lot of crazy things happen on special teams play already this season. So important to get a good snap and a kick. So, substitution issues for the Gators. Might get called for a delay of game here if they're not careful. Yeah. From bad to worse, we had a bobble snap, ball dropped. We had a flag on the play anyway for the illegal motion. Substitution infraction declined by the Eagles, and a big turn of events is, back where the ball was kicked is where the ball, where he was tackled, and it's going to be 1st and 10 Eagles, ball on the East Columbus 32 with 9:32 to go here in the third quarter. Handoff once again around the right-hand side. Swallowed up by the center of that East Columbus line. Campbell's carry picks up no yardage, and he's being brought down by the center of that East Columbus defense, and particularly number 54. And that's on my second page here. Devin Jenrette. Jenrette's tackle for no gain makes it 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. 9:03 to go here in the third quarter. Eagle defense trying to stiffen at this point, not wanting to give up that extra score. Campbell, the backside counter to 23, Riley Collins. Collins takes the ball around the right side, picks up about 3 or 4 before being dropped by number 25. I don't have that number. I apologize. I'm going to give it to Kevon Stackhouse. Backside handoff once again. Riley Collins with the carry. Dives through the heart of that East Columbus defense. Picks up enough for the first down. 1st and 10 Eagles. Ball on the 18. Under 8 to go here in the third quarter. East Bladen driving once again. East Columbus definitely needs to try to get a quick turnover at this point before going down 3 scores. East Bladen backside handoff to Riley Collins once again. Collins picks up a good 3 or 4 for being stopped by East Columbus in the person of number 75. It'd be Jabri Dixon. Dixon's tackle makes it 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. Just over 7 minutes to go here in the third. East Bladen looking to tack on another score and put some distance between themselves and the Gators. Handoff up the middle once again to Jaden Lewis, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. Lewis's touchdown makes it 28-6 in favor of the Eagles. Eagles looking to make this a 29 or a 30-6 score. Right now up by 22. And 3 scores with a quarter and a half to go is going to be a tall mountain to climb for the East Columbus Gators. Inside handoff, up the middle. Lewis gets a 2-point conversion. And our score with 6:50 to go in the third. East Bladen 30, East Columbus 6. While we have a moment, today's game also brought to you by the Lake Waccamaw Lions Club. Please contact your local Lions Club for vision assistance. The Lions Club, their motto is to be of service to the community. So contact your local Lions Club and see how you can get involved. Tonight's game also brought to you by the East Columbus Chain Crew, doing a great job on the sidelines for many, many years. The East Columbus Chain Crew, always willing to support their East Columbus Gators. East Columbus with, looks like 10 on the field. Now they got 11, and we're going to look to start this. A lot of confusion. Pop-up kick this time goes out of bounds. East Columbus will take over at about the 41. Also, I want to give a shout-out to Papa John's Pizza, the official pizza of the Columbus County Broadcasting Crew pregame festivities. Once again, Papa John's Pizza, thank you for supporting our Columbus County pride. East Columbus desperately in need of an offensive series, putting together a couple first downs and keeping their defense on the sideline so they can catch a break. 6:50 to go here in the third. Substitution, late substitution for the Gators. Crosby once again under center. Crosby going to pick a side to the right. Lucky to hold on to the ball. Takes it to about the 50, picking it up about 4.5, 5. 2nd and 5, 5.5 for the Gators. Want to give a shout out while I got the opportunity to Brett Burrs and Matt Gore doing the important job of making sure their youngins can have a great job, great time at the fair, participating in a lot of the activities tonight. So if you see the Gore children and if you see the Burrs children, root them on tonight at the fair. Yeah, miscommunication on the play. I think Crosby was looking for a running back that wasn't there. Loses yardage, and what was 2nd and 5 becomes 3rd and 7. Time ticking down here in the third quarter. East Bladen up by a couple of scores right now, but East Columbus with the opportunity to get themselves climb themselves back in this ball game, but they need scores and scores soon. Another, substitution question for East Columbus. A lot of moving pieces. Crosby around the left side, just behind the receiver and through the hands of the defensive back, number 3, Raheem Lewis. And Lewis, almost had a pick, and that pick 6 at that, going back the other direction. 4th and 8 for the Gators. Gators have taken some time off the clock, but right now the clock stopped with 5:20 to go here in the third. Big play here. East Columbus desperately needs to find some way to flip the field. Important to maybe get the better snap on this punt and get this punt, down in East Bladen territory. Quick snap. Fake punt, incomplete, just a bit too far for the receiver. Had him led perfectly, would have had the first down, threw it just a yard or two ahead of him, and the ball go over on downs to the East Bladen Eagles. East Bladen first down, 1st and 10, ball on the East Columbus 47, it looks like. And once again, the Eagles in plus territory here again in the second half. Important now for East Columbus to get a stop while the opportunity presents itself. And I think at this point they definitely need to start, looking for not only the tackle but the tackle in the football and really try to strip that ball out. First and 10 Eagles. You have wing right, backside counter taken very quickly by Jaden Lewis. Tackled by number 46, Dakari Porter. Second and about 7 for the Eagles. Ball on the 44. Under 5 to go here in the third. Once again, wing left. Kemp back to pass. Kemp going deep. Almost picked. And lucky that ball wasn't picked by the East Columbus defender. I mean, for all the world, that looked like that thing was going back the other direction. And that was the turnover, I would say but I'm here by myself. So it's the turnover I was talking about that they just really needed to get themselves to start clawing back in this ball game. Third down for the Eagles, looking in 2-down territory, up by a bunch, can afford to milk some clock. And 2 downs to get 7 yards. East Columbus desperately needed a stop at this point. Handoff once again. Ball taken by 21, Jaden Lewis. Lewis taken down by number 33, Crosby, and number 80, Julian Murray. Does move the chains, and it's 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Ball on the East Columbus 34, excuse me. Again, the opponent for East Columbus is not only the yardage now, but it's the yardage and the clock, as we're now under just about 3.5 to go here in the third quarter. Kemp back to pass once again. Quick hitter. Incomplete, intended for number 4, Torian Cogdell. Second and 10 for the Eagles. Ball on the 34. Pass was open, just underthrown by the quarterback, Kemp. Cogdell tried to dig it out, tried to play shortstop like we saw in the division series in baseball this week, but just couldn't pull it out. .325 to go here in the third quarter. Precious seconds going to start to tick away for East Columbus to try to get back in this ball game. Kemp, backside handoff once again. Around the corner we go is Lewis. Lewis gets loose, gets to the second level, and it's taken all the way to the 12 before being brought down by number 4, Jacob Stukes. First and 10 for the Eagles. Ball on about the 12 or 13. Full house backfield for the Eagles. Handoff up the middle to number 6, Braylon Cromartie. Cromartie close to the end zone, but not quite. He'll be stopped on about the 3, and it will be really close to a 1st and goal for the Eagles. Actually, the correction that Campbell was number 5, Campbell. Full house once again. Handed off to number 6, Cromartie on that carry. Again, that's, we're looking 5 or 6. It's 5, so it is Deshaun Campbell. Touchdown for the Eagles makes it 36-6. Eagles starting to pull away on the basis of a strong opening to this third quarter where, the opportunities were just not there for East Columbus. East Bladen able to capitalize and stretch this league, and now it's starting to get away from the Gators. 2:28 to go here in the third quarter. Full house backfield on the 2-point conversion. Counter is there and to the corner, and into the end zone goes number 23, Riley Collins. Our score, 38-6 in favor of the Eagles. 2:28 to go here in the third quarter. Once again, important to note that East Columbus, the score may look differently right now, but East Columbus had their opportunity. East Columbus was in this ball game for the entire first half, and just for whatever reason could not get the opportunities and be able to cash them in. The sign of a growing team is they came in, fixed the mistakes of last week, grew as a team, were a lot more disciplined in their approach, and they were, if not for a couple plays here and there, this could be a very different score. .228 to go here in the third quarter. Kemp once again to kick off for the Eagles. Kickoff just a bit deeper this time, but still he's got that right hand hook to it. Looks like a golf slice. It looks like my golf swing, and it goes out of bounds. And once again, we are going to, I think they're going to ask him if he wants to re-kick, depending on where the ball was placed. And I think they are going to make him re-kick because I think this one is a little bit deeper than the last couple. Instead of getting the ball to 45-50, make him re-kick and hopefully get this thing closer to midfield. Going to bounce it back 5 yards. They're going to try this thing again. Ball will be placed on the 40-yard line to kick it off. East Columbus hoping for a return off of this one. Not sure if they're going to get the opportunity. Looking at a big hole if you look at it from the first line of East Columbus defense to the third line. There's nobody in that corner over by the East Bladen bench, and I think it's pretty much where he's going to kick it. Ball on the ground, kicking it to corner. Fallen on by East Columbus right there at the 34. Ball taken by number 19, Lorenzo Patrick. First and 10 Gators, ball on about the, looks like about the 34. And East Columbus desperately, if not to score, at least get their defense some air. And, they need to take some time off the clock at this point. Gators in a double tight wing. Handoff met in the backfield by number 7, Bradley Townsend for the Eagles. And Townsend almost took the handoff on that one. Loss of about 3 for the Gators, 2nd and 13. Time ticking down here in the third quarter. East Bladen up by 32. Important to note, another East Bladen score without an East Columbus score will result in a running clock. Nobody covering the outside receiver for East Bladen right now. Now he comes out. Inside pitch picked up, and lucky they got that thing back, hopefully, is East Columbus. Got a flag on the play. Not sure what the call is here. We got a lot of discussion. Personal foul face mask to call against East Bladen. And, Big movement here, but it's still going to be second next. I don't think he got quite enough yardage to get it to first down. Yeah, second and 13 becomes second and 8. Sorry, second and 15 becomes, well, I'm not sure about the math on that. Appeared to be about an 11-yard penalty. Because they called from the spot of the foul. Crosby with the quarterback keeper will pick up the first down, make it 1st and 10 for the Gators after a gain of about 11 or 12. First and 10 Gators, ball on the 47, looks like. 47, actually about the 48. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Like I said, you're looking at East Columbus giving their defense a much-needed break, after being on the field most of that third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Gators. Ball on the 48. East Columbus looking to drive once again. Pick up about 2 or 3 by number 9, and that is Stephen Hansford. Hansford gains officially 2, making it 2nd and 8, and looks like that may or may not be the last play of the third quarter. Quick moving game. It's 8:34, and we are going to end 3 officially about 8:35, and East Columbus catching some air at this point after a rough third quarter by an inspired East Bladen team. 1 quarter to go here in the Swamp. Once again, Brett Burrs, Matt Gore are on daddy duty, which is an extremely important job. Much more important, than calling football. Making sure those youngins have a great time participating in the Columbus County Fair. Give them a shout out and their families tonight. But again, quick moving game tonight. 3 quarters in the books, and we have what could be a very different score. A lot of growth by the Gators tonight. Just, East Bladen kind of sticking it out, kind of grinding it out. It hasn't done a lot of flash plays, hasn't done a lot of trick plays or long gainers or anything spectacular, but they've ground out what looks to be another East Bladen victory. 1 quarter left to go. Let's give a quick shout out to the Columbus County School Transportation Department and our great bus drivers here in Columbus County. They do a great job transporting our students to and from school and activities, and they're probably the first and last mile your child sees from Columbus County schools at the beginning or end of each day. So let's give a great shout out to our Columbus County bus drivers in the transportation department under the direction of Mr. Jeffrey Green. 2nd and 8 for the Gators. Ball on the plus side at the East Bladen 48. Got an offside here that whether it's going to be called or not called, and it will be called. He was in the neutral zone. So 2nd and 8 becomes 2nd and 3, and the Gators catching a break, trying to claw back into this thing. Great job by our camera crew, Jeff and McKenna Rudnick tonight, and had that lined up perfectly for us. Had a close up on that one. So great job, camera crew. Can't tell you how much we appreciate your job tonight. We're also under the direction of Tyler Likens, and under the producing of Jeff Rudnick. 2nd and 3. Ball moving forward. Looks like he lost a half a full yard. It's going to be 3rd and 4. East Columbus with 2 downs to get this. Just inside the 4th quarter with time ticking away. East Columbus definite 2-down territory at this point, 3rd and 4. Pro set with motion for East Columbus, fakes the handoff, but unfortunately, nobody bit, especially not Julius Battle, number 9 for East Bladen. He decided that he wasn't having none of that. Did not play the fake, went straight for the running back, and nothing was happening. 4th and about 8 for the Gators. 11 minutes to go here in the ball game. Once again, in punt formation is East Columbus, but late substitution for the Gators and some confusion on the punt coverage. Snap way over his head. He's back on top of it. He's going to try it for himself, and he's going to get quite a bit of yardage before being thrown out as number 12, Demetrius Dexter. Dexter picks up some yardage, but unfortunately for the Gators, it will go over to the Eagles, 1st and 10. Once again, next East Bladen score without an East Columbus score will necessitate a running clock. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Ball is about the, let's say, the 27. $10:18 to go here in the fourth quarter. To give a shout out to our, all the parents who were helping out with making sure our kids are here tonight. Doing a great job making sure our Columbus County broadcasting crew does, really stands out. If you get a chance, talk to Connie Falk about the broadcasting department in Columbus and CCCA, or Chris Ruffin over at Southeastern. They do a great job with the broadcasting programs. Backside handoff up the middle. Handed off to number 23, Riley Collins. Collins picks up good yardage on first down, making it about 2nd and 4. Actually, they gave him a bit more than that. It's going to be 2nd and 1. Second and 1, under 10 minutes to go, 9:45 to go here in the fourth. Gators, desperately trying to stop that, before we get to a running clock. Handoff once again. Stringing it out is number 10, Nashawn Jones. Jones takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. And that will make our score, I believe, 44-6. The clock will start to run with just over 9 minutes. East Columbus, looking at the short side of the scoreboard right now, has had opportunities in this ball game. This should be a much closer ball game, probably about maybe a 15, 20-point ball game. With 8:55 to go, hard to hang your head when you're showing a lot of growth here as a young team. Backside handoff, stopped by the East Columbus defense before he can get in. New quarterback in the game for East Bladen was number 21, Jaden Lewis. Once again, if you see in the crawl at the bottom, 8:25 to go here in the ball game. Time ticking away. Nobody in that big of a hurry at the score, 44-6. Just over 7.5 to go here in the ball game. Let's see if we can get you some updated scores. Line drive kick once again taken up the middle by number 12. Taken out of bounds. So East Columbus ball carried by number 12, Demetrius Dexter. Dexter makes the ball 1st and 10, ball on just short of the 40-yard line. Let's call it the 39, 1st and 10, 6.5 to go here in the ball game. First and 10 Gators, looking to try to run this thing out. Fumble on the snap, covered by the quarterback. Carson Dallas, the new quarterback for East Columbus. Time taking away. 2nd and 12 for the Gators. Dallas coming in at quarterback, a true sophomore, and getting the opportunity to helm the Gator offense here in the late going. Dallas back to pass, rolls to his right, heaves the ball back to the other side, in and out of the hands of the receiver. Pass interference to call, and we will have another opportunity on 2nd down, but from much closer. Receiver boxing out did a great job of causing that play. Ball just gets to the receiver, interfered by the defense, and we'll move the ball all the way down to about the 48, 1st and 10 Gators. Sometimes, it's baseball playoff season, but apparently right now it's basketball season, as the box out causes the pass interference and gives the Gators 1st and 10. Around the horn we go. Number 9 for the Gators, Stephen Hansford. Hansford picks up about 10 or 11, and it'll be enough for another Gator 1st down. Ball on the 37. Hansford picks up 11, moves the chains for the Gators with just over 4 minutes to go. Once again, Brett Burrows and I will be back next week on the campus of South Columbus High School. We go from East Bladen and East Columbus to South Brunswick at South Columbus. Backside handoff somehow gets through that surging defensive line of East Bladen, picks up about 2, makes it 2nd and 8, 3:42 to go here in the ball game. So we go from East versus East to South versus South next week. We will take a week off after that, as all teams are away that following week, and then we'll finish the season with the traditional border matchup between Whiteville at South Columbus. Just a few weeks left in the season, also just a few weeks till Halloween. I will be wearing my traditional costume of a grumpy old man, and with my cane or my crutches, I'll just need a top hat and a bow tie, and I might be Mr. Monopoly. 2nd and 8, 3 minutes to go here in the ball game. Dallas back to pass once again. That's an incomplete pass. Once again, the reason the clock is not stopping is we're in a running clock situation. Dallas hit as he throws. Lucky to get that one back. Once again, I want to give a shout-out to our broadcasting partners tonight. Jeff McKenna-Rudnick on the cameras. Tyler Likens we're doing a great job producing this ball game tonight. Kelly Jones back in the control center, making sure we have everything we need. Grace Oaks at Columbus County, Columbus Career and College Academy with our broadcasting program to help and teach our students. So thank you for letting us come into your home each and every night. You have 2 people in motion, and I'm not sure you can do that. So we got a legal procedure on both the wingbacks. And we'll go back 5 yards. But more importantly, if you're an East Bladen fan, that clock continues to tick. Third and 13, 1:45 to go here in the ball game. The issue not in doubt And, as much as you're disappointed if you're an East Columbus fan, you're not winning the ball game. I think the East Columbus team took a lot of steps in growing up tonight and really showed a lot of growth from the times we've seen them earlier this season. Inside handoff once again, picks up maybe 2 or 3. Under 90 seconds to go. It's going to be 4th down. East Columbus will get one more snap at this before they have to turn the ball over. I don't think anybody would be too disappointed if they just kind of ran out of time, though. Again, East Columbus doing a lot of growing up today, unfortunately on the short end of the scoreboard, but this could be a much, much closer ball game. A few plays here or there, and East Columbus was right in it most of the way. Dallas back to pass, swings it out to the right. Quick heads up play, driven back. And East Bladen will take over on downs with 35 seconds to go. I don't think, honestly, if East Bladen, if they're in a hurry to run another play or two. I think East Bladen is going to go ahead and line it up. Once again, our score, the final score of tonight's ball game, East Bladen wins 44-6. A lot of growth on East Columbus side tonight. If you're an East Columbus fan, cut down on the penalties big time. Some issues with some personnel groupings and some moving things around. But that's the sign of a team that's growing up right before our eyes. You have the East Bladen team who had to struggle with it at times tonight, but East Bladen also has a lot to be proud about tonight. They took the time to really grind out a victory, and in a game where you've had some unfortunate breaks, a sign of maturity of an East Bladen team, being able to power through, pick it up in the second half and get it going and win the ball game. Once again, we'll be back next week on the campus of South Columbus. We have 2 ball games and 3 weeks left of the football season before we get to the playoffs. We have South Brunswick at South Columbus next week. South Brunswick coming out from the Southport area, down by the beach to come take on the Stallions. We'll be off the following week, the week before Halloween, and looks like Halloween night will be on the campus of South Columbus one last time as Whiteville and South Columbus clash in the great border battle to finish the year. Once again, for McKenna and Jeff Rudnick, Tyler Likens, Kelly Jones, the great folks at CCCA and their broadcasting team, this is Kevin Toman. I'll say see you next week here for Hometown Nights under the Friday Night Lights on the Columbus County Sports Network.